Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. So we are here for the fourth feature event of the season here in season number 2 of the Wawa Pro Series. This is the Grand Prix of Wisconsin. 13 laps around this 4-mile road course, and we should be in store for a very entertaining race here today. Second road course race of the season for these guys as well. The last time we were on the road course, Fisher G won at Willow Springs from the 12th starting position. Starting 12th today is Eric Monaco, the number 75. I'll have to see if he can win from the 12th starting position here at Road America. The thing is, the guy who won the last road course race, Fisher G, starts on the outside pole here today in that number 89 machine. And the driver who has been very strong all season long is Gary Corelli. Won the last feature event of the season at Nashville. He's got a 10-point lead on the field coming into this race, with Trey Wright right behind him, 10 points behind. Zachary Fitzwater is 15 points behind coming into this race. Then Chase Buck is 16 points behind, and Fisher G also 16 points behind. Both Fisher G and Chase Buck, however, start inside the top 5 for this race, along with Gary Corelli, our points leader. But starting on the pole is the number 55 of Joey Hightower, who in yesterday's sprint race, in that 5-lap sprint race, grabbed the fastest time of the race on the last lap of the race. So a lot of speed later on in the run for these guys here at the Road America, which should be in store for an interesting race in terms of the fastest lap going into the next race at Rockingham. But the focus is on these guys going for the race win here in this feature event. 13 laps and 12 points to the winner of this event. Joey Hightower, like I mentioned, on the pole position in the number 55, grabbed the fastest lap yesterday in the sprint race. Alongside him, it's Fisher G in the number 89. Gary Corelli and Chase Buck make up row number 2. Gary Corelli with a great opportunity at heading into the 5th race of the season with a full race win worth of points as the points lead. He's been pretty much unstoppable this season, grabbed that race victory in Nashville, and that has definitely propelled him to a very large points lead coming into this race. We'll have to see if he can hold on to it here today at Road America. We got Tyree Cartman in the number 61 to the inside of Chris Reynolds. Thomas Troxel there. Great opportunity for Troxel to have a good shot here at a race victory alongside Ben Young. And it's Hunter Braxton and Daytona winner Trey Wright in row number 5. Ladd Prescott, Eric Monaco back in there, row number 6. Landon Smith Jr. will start alongside Christopher Alphaby in row number 7. Row number 8 sees Seth Cole and Justin Zaidel, Brendan Wilmington and Dylan Young in row number 9. Row 10, we have Ashlyn Boyd and Zachary Fitzwater, Scott Upton and Jesse Turner, the winner of this race one season ago. It was like just a couple of months ago when we were last here in the Wawa Pro Series. They make up row number 11. Row number 12, we'll see Alexander Rowe and William Brock, Roberto Crown Jr. and Nicholas Amadeo, make up row 13. Brad Stover and Jacob Walker in row 14, and then Zach Winkle and Ryan Madden, who flipped in yesterday's sprint race. Very eventful sprint race that was for some guys, and I think we'll be in store for a very eventful feature event here this evening. So Brendan Wilmington overshoot the carousel. It's been a while since we've seen someone do that in a race on the channel, but then again, it's been a while since we've even come here on the channel outside of the IndyCar series. But definitely excited to see who gets this race victory and see who can hold on. Of course, we saw Ryan Madden flip, Brendan Wilmington go off in the carousel. Anything can happen to any of these drivers in these 13 laps. So these guys have to be careful to keep their cars clean, have a shot at the race victory. Great opportunity for Joey Hightower coming into this race. Only 1 point on the season, and that is the point that he was awarded for winning the pole for this race. So he's looking for his first top 10 in a feature event this season. And if he keeps a clean wheel, he'll have a good opportunity of doing that. But other guys looking for their first ever win in this series, like Chris Reynolds, who was in this series last year, almost won this race, I believe, 1 year ago, or 1 season ago, like 3 months ago when that race happened. But still, Chris Reynolds, the good opportunity there, starting in the 6th position. You may be wondering why are the odd-numbered starting qualifier, starting on what is technically the outside lane. Well, the outside lane is the preferred line in turn number 1, and that is how it's set up in the game on this track. But Joey Hightower will have the advantage coming across the start-finish line and down the hill on the turn number 1, as that outside lane has a lot more grip than the inside lane. It's hard to make a pass on the inside lane throughout a few of the corners here at Road America, so passing will be difficult, but there will be a set of pit stops in this race to shake things up. A 6 to 8 lap fuel run for these guys. However, it will be a one-stop race for the entire field, even though we will see some guys come in before halfway. Pace car is down the pit lane. It's the Grand Prix of Wisconsin here from Road America. Joey Hightower and Fisher G on the front row. We're green flag racing in the 4th race of the season in the Wawa Pro Series. And a good jump at the start there for Joey Hightower in the number 55. Very good jump as they're side by side for second between Gary Corelli and Fisher G. Chase Buck right in there. Chris Reynolds with a good advantage as well. Ben Young looking to strike in that battle. Tyreek Hartman fell back just a little bit right there. Eric Monaco made it 3 wide there for a moment, but he's kind of stuck behind Trey Wright. Hunter Braxton here. These guys have to be careful. We saw contact in this corner on the first turn yesterday in the sprint race. It looks like we'll get out of it cleanly today, but a gaggle of cars in the back of the field right here. A lot of 3 wide as they head into turn number 5. If any incident happens, you'll see it on the corner of your screen, hopefully. Chase Buck going to take second away from Fisher G right there. And Gary Corelli. So the 09 now up to second. Fisher G there in third. You have Chris Reynolds under fire here from Ben Young as they go through the carousel for the first time today. Fisher G looking to get to the inside of Chase Buck there for second. These guys do not want Gary Corelli to win this race. No doubt about it. Chase Buck and Fisher G, a couple of guys top 5 in points coming into this race after the first 3 full weekends and the sprint race yesterday. First, Chase Buck grabbed the race victory in the sprint race. He led every lap. We'll have to see if Joey Hightower can do so in that 55. He was the fastest guy yesterday. Will he be the fastest guy today? Chase Buck went a little wide there through Canada corner. Fisher G's going to have a shot to the outside and then to the inside, but he did not time that move correctly, and Gary Corelli will take third right away from the 89. But Fisher G looking to strike back on that inside lane. But he did not get a good run there, and Chris Reynolds might have a shot here on Fisher G for the 4th position. Lap 1 will be led by Joey Hightower in the number 55. Ben Young, Hunter Braxton's gotten around. Tyreek Hartman, Troxel fell back there initially, and Eric Monaco inside the top 10, inside the points here on the first lap of the race. But they're all chasing Joey Hightower in the number 55 for this race victory. I believe everybody got through the first lap, but some guys had some issues and some tough first laps. Jesse Turner in the back of the field. It's not been a good start to the season for Jesse Turner after winning the championship last year. Turner comes into this race 17th in points, only 5 points on the year so far. Here's Ben Young on Chris Reynolds, and then Tyreek Hartman back on Hunter Braxton, but it's a left-hander next time by for these guys. But Ben Young's going to be able to clear Chris Reynolds before they get to that left-hander. Hunter Braxton, on the other hand, a little contact there with the 22, and Ben Young went a little wide through the corner there, and both Reynolds and Braxton and Monaco and Hartman all going to get around the 24. And Ben Young off again! And Troxel also off. Troxel has fallen outside the top 10. Christopher Alphabet, Trey Wright now moving themselves inside the top 10 now. Monaco, Hartman right there. Close battle between those two drivers. Chase Buck not falling off from Joey Hightower here. Oh, Corelli a little wide there through the carousel, and Fisher G may have an opportunity right here. Next turn is the kink, so a right-hander for Fisher G. He'll have the advantage through this corner, but he had to really check it up there. That's one of those corners where the inside lane does not have the advantage, and Gary Corelli will comfortably stay in the 3rd position. Chris Reynolds there in the 22 machine, up to the 5th position now. There's Ben Young, a little wide through a couple of those corners, fell back quite a bit. Trey Wright now inside the top 10. He holds on to the last point at the moment. Hunter Braxton in 6th, Tyreek Hartman 7th, Eric Monaco 8th, Ben Young 9th, and Trey Wright in the 10th position. Back in the field, a lot of these guys just trying to find something to work their way. Maybe play a little strategy. Strategy's going to be kind of wide today. It's a 6 to 8 lap field run, but that's the window of the guys coming down the pit lane for the cycle. But it will be a one-stop race for everyone. Like I said, even though we'll see some guys start to come down on lap number 6 heading into lap number 7. Starting to spread out just a little bit out front. A little bit of a calmer race so far than what we saw yesterday in the sprint. Everybody's still out there on the racetrack, which is definitely nice to see. But Joey Hightower for Cohen Racing Enterprises bookending this race right now. Hightower in first place. Jesse Turner, his teammate, in last place. Of course, 11th place and last place mean the same thing in a feature race. So, top 10's all that matters for these guys. You got a battle right there for 10th. Christopher Alphaby, Trey Wright, battling for that last point. And a good battle at that. Seth Cole right behind those guys as well. He's currently 12th. Brandon Wilmington went off in the carousel yesterday in the sprint race. He's hoping he does not make that mistake again here today. He could have an opportunity at some points once this race cycles through. 1.27 seconds for Joey Hightower now on Chase Buck. Gary Corelli under fire from Fisher G. I think this 89 might be a bit faster. Hunter Braxton may have an opportunity here on Chris Reynolds. He went wide through the kink, though, and Tyreek Hartman's going to have a shot back at the 88. That's not a good corner to go wide in. That's one of the fastest corners on the circuit, and you can't risk making a mistake there, otherwise it's going to be a bad accident. Hartman will clear Braxton there and get back around the 88 machine for the 6th position. Great run for Tyreek Hartman here today in the number 61 machine. 5 points on the season so far, but considering that this is his first ever run in anything on the channel, he's doing pretty well. The other guy who's in his first ever run on the channel, Jacob Walker, has yet to receive any points this season in number 13. And he's still struggling back in the field there in the number 13 machine. Everyone's still going strong. Lap 4 of 13 now for Joey Hightower, 1.39 seconds there, so he's pulled away a little bit there from the 09 of Chase Buck. Fisher G's doing all he can to find his way around Gary Corelli. And every point matters in catching up to Corelli in this championship. But went a little wide there in turn number 2. They go through turn number 3, which is technically under the bridge right here. This right here is turn number 3, and then turn number 4 is the left-hander. We saw the contact yesterday between Seth Cole and I think it may have been Dylan Young. Both of those guys got into it. Here's Hunter Braxton back on Tyreek Hartman. It's one of the corners where the inside lane has a shot. That and Canada corner, two of the best places to make a pass here. Hunter Braxton trying to hold on. He may be able to get the outside lane to work to his advantage here through turn number 6. But he also got Eric Monaco looking to strike Ben Young, looking to close back in as well. And Monaco may actually take advantage of this. Get a run on the outside of Braxton as he's going to push Hartman past the 88 machine. And now through the carousel, I think Monaco may have the advantage. Monaco trying to work that inside lane, get around this 88 machine, and I think Monaco's going to do it. But he's on the inside through the kink here, and he's going to have to check it up through the corner, or will he? He did just a little bit right there, and he's going to lose his momentum. These guys don't have that much grip, and because of that, it's difficult to make a pass on the inside lane. Monaco now under fire from Ben Young, but he will get that position through Canada corner. That's the one corner on this track where that inside lane works. So if you get a run there, heading off the kink, you might have a shot at getting him. Chris Reynolds, 22. He's got a shot on Fisher G right here. That is for the 4th position. Chris Reynolds has had an excellent race so far. And he may actually try to make a move right here, but the thing is you want to clear him before you get to turn number 1, because otherwise that inside lane's very difficult to make anything work. Lap 5 of 13. 2 laps from now, we'll probably see some of these guys start to come down the pit lane. The pit strategy could very well determine who gets this race victory. Chase Buck closed in a little bit right there, about 1/10 of a second, so he's hanging right with Joey Hightower here. And, of course, any mistake out of any of these guys throughout this field, of course, in the back of the field doesn't really matter too much. I mean, look at Troxel. Troxel struggled tremendously in this race. He is right now down in the 17th position, maybe even worse at this moment, because he started inside the top 10 and fell back quite a ways as Christopher Alphaby has gotten around Trey Wright for the 10th position. That's the last point, and they may go 3 wide right behind Alphaby. The tires are starting to wear out now as well, and that means they're going to have even less grip on the racetrack. Wilmington and Seth Cole, teammates at Trinity River Racing, battling. And Seth Cole will hold on to that position right there. Still Hightower, Chase Buck, Gary Corelli, Fisher G, Chris Reynolds, Tyree Cartman, Hunter Braxton, Eric Monaco in the 8th position still, Ben Young, and now Christopher Alphaby holding on to that last point. First, yesterday we saw Brendan Wilmington go off in the carousel at any moment. Even the leader can go off in that carousel. I'll never forget that race. 6 years ago, Tyler Selzman grabbed the race victory from Griffin Lynn. Griffin Lynn dominated the race, went off in the carousel on the final lap. And Hightower went a little wide there off a can of the corner. Here we go. We got a battle here with Chris Reynolds to the inside of Fisher G. That is for the fourth position, excuse me. Reynolds might try to hold this inside to the final corner. He might be able to get something to go his way right there. I think he's got the momentum. They're side by side up the hill here for the 4th position between Chris Reynolds and Fisher G. And I think Reynolds, I don't know, Fisher G getting that advantage there in that outside lane, but Reynolds is going to try all he can to hold on to it. It's going to be tough to make it work on that inside lane, but he dove it in deep. Just don't think that's going to be quite enough. And he might still hold the inside here in the turn number 2. And he will, and Chris Reynolds may get it here on the number 89. What this is doing is bringing Tyree Cartman right into this battle. It's allowing Gary Corelli to pull away as well. They're still side by side for the 4th position. 1.08 seconds for the lead. That's going to be significant once the cycle begins. Tyree Cartman, he's going to have a say in this. Going to poke his nose in the middle of all this battling. Reynolds may be able to get it here on the outside in turn 5. Looks like he's got it. So Chris Reynolds, or does he? Fisher G trying to work the inside now in turn 7. That's a tough one right there. That outside lane has a lot more grip, and they can late break it a lot better. Tyree Cartman off. Hunter Braxton's going to get around him. So will Eric Monaco in the number 75. Monaco went wide. He's got to be careful here. Very treacherous corner to be that high on the racetrack. Now these guys are side by side, but Monaco has the advantage on the outside through the kink. Monaco will get around Hartman. I think Alphaby will get around Hartman as well. Alphaby moving up very well in this race. He got around Ben Young. Now Ben Young can get around Tyree Cartman. That was a bad mistake out of Hartman there. Chris Reynolds and Fisher G still battling, though, for this 4th position. And Fisher G all over the back bumper of the 22 machine. Meanwhile, these two guys have kind of pulled out, and they've checked out from the field. We'll see. Oh, yeah, they're going to come down now. That's what you want to do. Gary Corelli's going to stay out here. Chris Reynolds and Fisher G, they know the smarter strategy. The Nathan Orman Motorsports teammates, they're going to stay out. Monaco's staying out. Alphaby's coming down. Trey Wright, Ashlyn Boyd, Brad Stover, Scott Upton in the back of the field. Yeah, William Brock and Jacob Walker as well. So Joey Hightower in that first pit stall there. We'll see what he can do in this number 55 machine. And it looks like he's going to come out right at the same time as Chase Buck. Both of these guys can be right on each other. Chase Buck may actually have had a better stop right there. Going to be kind of near the end of the field, but I don't think lap traffic will get in the way of these guys. But Chase Buck might get in the way of Joey Hightower. This could be a pass for the race lead before it's actually for the race lead. Meanwhile, the race leader is officially, at the moment, Gary Corelli and Thomas Troxel in the 21 with damage. That's the first incident we have seen today. You see that at the corner of your screen right there on lap number 7. We'll follow here with these guys, and they're right on each other. Chase Buck and Joey Hightower. Once this whole thing cycles through, I believe these two guys are going to be battling for the feature win. Hightower's done an excellent job in this race, but Chase Buck is not going to let him have it easy. Lap 7 of 13 right now, so next time by, we will be halfway through this race. Pretty much at this moment, we're halfway, and again, Brennan Wilmington off through the carousel. 2 days in a row for Brennan Wilmington, and he had an opportunity at getting some points in this race. That's not going to happen today. 2 in a row for Wilmington through that carousel going off there. That is unbelievable. Monaco on Hunter Braxton before they come down the pit lane. Monaco's not going to make it easy for the 88. I think the 88 may have gone a little wide there. There goes Corelli. He's coming down. I'd imagine most of these drivers are going to come down right here, but we may see a couple guys try to stretch it one more lap. Dylan Young's coming down. Fitzwater's coming down. Ryan Madden, Sam Medeo, Prescott. That actually may be it. That is it. So only 2 laps there where these guys stayed out. So 6 to 7 lap fuel run, but these guys are going to be able to make it to the end. So it's going to be an interesting race, but the tires are going to be worn out significantly once we get to the end of the race. There's Hightower, Joey Hightower and Chase Buck coming up the hill and across the line. Oh, and contact! Monaco and Prescott! And Gary Corelli trying to come off with the leaders. He's going to lose a little bit of ground. Monaco has quite a bit of damage there in the 75 machine as Vlad Prescott ran right into the side of him. That is significant damage on that 75. But if Monaco can just hold on, he will stay in the top 10. Fisher G really fell back after that exchange. Alfie gained a few spots right there. Chris Reynolds there in 4th now, but the battle's on between the top 3. Joey Hightower, Chase Buck, and Gary Corelli, and there we go. Chase Buck saying, how do you do? We have to see if he can find a way to the inside of Joey Hightower for this race lead, but that 09 does appear to be a little faster than the 55. He's going to take a shot to the inside through turn number 7. And Hightower off the racetrack, and a pass for the race lead. Chase Buck looking to sweep the sprint and the feature event here at Road America. And Chase Buck now out front here in the Grand Prix of Wisconsin. Gary Corelli is going to have slightly fresher tires, though, later on in this run. So watch out for the 18 in that regard. Chris Reynolds is 4th. Hunter Braxton is 5th. Christopher Alfby, Eric Monaco, Seth Cole, Trey Wright, and Ashland Boyd has found himself inside the top 10 now. So both Tyreek Hartman and Fisher G, who were running top 10 before the cycle began, they're going to fall back significantly. Same with Ben Young in there on the 24. Not a good run for him in this race. Looks like there's more contact on that 75 machine. I think he's losing some ground here. Buckle on the hood there on the 75 machine, and look at Trey Wright close right in, entering Canada the corner. Now Hightower's not done here. May have a shot at getting back around this 09 before this race is done, but Chase Buck at the moment has the short-term speed. We'll have to see if Hightower has the long-run speed going forward in this race. It's 5 laps to go here at Road America. Gary Corelli still in 3rd. He's had a quiet race there running in the 3rd position. Chris Reynolds kind of all by himself. Here we go. Christopher Alfby has done an excellent job moving through the field in this one. He's going to try to take 5th away from Hunter Braxton. Trey Wright has found himself inside the top 10. Seth Cole there, and then a battle between Ashland Boyd and Fisher G for the last point, but Ashland Boyd holds on to it currently. Back to the race lead. Hightower not letting Chase Buck drive away with this one. These guys are not careful. Gary Corelli is going to be right there looking to strike. Hightower went a little wide, though, through turn number 5, and Chase Buck's going to be able to get through turn number 6 just fine. Heading into turn number 7 right there. There's another corner where they tend to go wide off the exit, and you got the carousel in turn 8. Hightower going to try to gain an advantage through this one, this tight right-hander. Alfby has gotten around Hunter Braxton for the 5th position. He just went a little wide, and Braxton might have a shot back to the inside. Seth Cole looking to grab points. His teammate Brendan Wilmington overshot the carousel earlier. Ashland Boyd looking to get that last point. So far, only 2 drivers out of the race. It's Wilmington who went off in the carousel, and then Thomas Troxel who was out of the race from an incident, and Monaco had to come down the pit lane. That's a shame. Monaco had a good opportunity of getting some points. Not going to happen for him here today, as he had to make a second stop and get that hood taken off, because that was majorly affecting the aerodynamics on that machine. So that's going to open the door for Fisher G to move inside the top 10 here, which he will as they cross the line with 4 laps to go. Tyree Cartman, Justin Seidel, and Brad Stover now just outside the points, looking to get around this 89. Hightower is right there. I think both these guys share very similar speed in this race. And they may come right down to the end. And Hightower doing very good on the half of the racetrack, where if you split the racetrack in half, halfway through the racetrack, the half that has a start-finish line, I think Joey Hightower's better. But once you get to this part, I think Chase Buck, kind of in the middle part of the racetrack, Chase Buck has the advantage. But at the ends, at the last part, let's put it this way. In the second sector, I think Chase Buck is better, but in the first and third sector, Joey Hightower's better. That's what I should have said. But now it's looking like Joey Hightower is even better in the second sector, because he is closing in very well here through this carousel on this 09 machine. And not only that, I think Corelli may still have a shot at getting to these guys. So a long ways left to go in this race, even though it's only 3.5 laps to go. It's still well over 14 miles, right about 14 miles left to go in this race. So that's still a long ways left to go. Some of the sprint races this season aren't even 14 miles. Hightower is definitely on pace with Chase Buck, so Chase Buck isn't going to pull away with this one, but he could still hold him off, though. This thing's far from over between both of those guys. Trey Wright has gotten around Christopher Alphaby. Trey Wright now up to 5th in this 69 machine. Great run for him. Ashland Boyd has moved up. Couple of positions, to be exact. You got around Hunter Braxton and Seth Cole, and Fisher G still holds on to the last point. I'm going to focus here on this race lead, though. At any moment, Hightower could strike on this 09. One mistake at it, Chase Buck, and Hightower's going to take the race lead away. 2.23 seconds for Gary Corelli. Everybody else is 9 seconds at least off the pace, so only unless all 3 of these guys wreck, which, you know, it's possible. I've seen crazy things happen before. The winner's definitely going to be one of these 3 guys, and more likely one of these 2 guys, Chase Buck or Joey Hightower. Hightower still not letting off, but Gary Corelli's coming. I think this 18 is closing in on these guys. We could have a 3-horse race for the race win here at Road America. Chris Reynolds kind of all by himself there, but Trey Wright pulling away from those guys. Ashland Boyd with a good run. Contact there between Fisher G and Seth Cole. I think Seth Cole's a bit off the pace. Here comes Hartman for the last point. Hartman trying to rebound and get something in this race. He's got a nose to the inside of Fisher G, but unable to get it to stick right there, and he's going to really have to check up entering turn number 6. Fisher G a little wide, though, and Hartman may have a shot here on the outside lane. Not going to do it. A close battle right there. Chase Buck may have pulled away a little bit there from Joey Hightower this lap. The 09 going to pull away a little bit from Joey Hightower, and Corelli looking to close back in on those guys. Now we got a battle. Hartman to the inside for 10th. Not able to do it, and Landon Smith Jr. may have a shot on Hartman and Ben Young. Going inside on the kinks, one of the worst places to go inside. Ben Young might get 2 for 1 right here. Going to be for 11th, but puts him right in line to get a point if something happens to someone in the top 10. Landon Smith Jr. finished runner-up at Nashville last time out. Have to see if he can get anything here. 8 points in the season right now. Actually, he finished 3rd. If he's only got 8 points, he finished 3rd at Nashville. Ben Young unable to get it there on that inside lane. Justin Seidel has gone off, and damage on the 47. So that's another casualty in this race. That's the 3rd driver out of this race here from Road America. Didn't have any casualties to lap 7 of this race, though, so we went quite a ways before we had anything happen, but as we've gone through this evening, a lot of guys have had their fair share of issues. Fisher G still in that last points-paying position. Tyree Cartman losing another position here now to Brad Stover. Seth Cole there. Ooh, and Ashland Boyd went wide there through turn number 4. Here comes Hunter Braxton. Braxton's going to try to get another point towards the championship right here. That'll be for 7th. That'll be 4 points if Braxton were to get it, but Ashland Boyd currently holds on to the 4-point position. Alphabet looking to get 5 points here today. Trey Wright looking to get 6. He may actually be looking to get 7 if he can get around Chris Reynolds here, who's struggling in that 22. But these guys looking for 12. Joey Hightower still there on Chase Buck, but Gary Corelli has been closing in, and I think this last lap may see all 3 of these guys go right at it for the race win. And Chase Buck a little wide right there. He is keeping the door wide open for Joey Hightower to have a shot at this race victory. And both of these guys are keeping the door wide open for Gary Corelli, who is closing in fast. 4 miles left to go here at Road America. 1 lap left in the Grand Prix of Wisconsin for Chase Buck in the 09. Will he sweep the weekend? Or will Hightower or Corelli get the race victory? They're all within a second of each other with 1 lap to go. Turn 1. Chase Buck's trying to hold on and pull away, but Hightower and Corelli all right there. The thing that Chase Buck has going for him here is that it's a very difficult place to make a pass. And that might very well be what gets him this win, but then again, Corelli here, Hightower here, one guy makes a mistake, and it's going to be pandemonium for this race victory. Everybody else 11 seconds off the pace. These 3 guys, by far the class of the field here at Road America. Chase Buck a little wide there. And all 3 of these guys just on each other. Nose to tail. Hightower is going to go wide, and that may open the door for Corelli to get 2nd. Not going to quite happen. And all Chase Buck really needs to do is run a clean race, but you got that carousel still left, and we've seen, especially if you're Brendan Wilmington, that'd be a big issue this weekend. They're still all on each other. 1 mistake through the carousel, and someone else is winning this race. Chase Buck's going to hold on, though. So will Hightower and Gary Corelli, and Chase Buck pulling away just a little bit right there. And that may have been the opportunity. They go through the kink for the final time. Chase Buck has a bit of a buffer between him and Joey Hightower. He just has to get through Canada corner cleanly, and I think this race is his to lose. Little wide right there. Hightower may have an opportunity. He got through Canada corner better. He's going to have to slingshot to the inside on the final corner if he's going to have any opportunity, but it will not happen. Chase Buck's going to hold them off and get the first feature win of the season for him, his 2nd win overall on the season, and both of them coming as he sweeps the weekend here at Road America. Chase Buck wins the Grand Prix of Wisconsin. Joey Hightower, Gary Corelli, Chris Reynolds is going to hold on for 4th, 11 seconds further behind. Reynolds with 4th. Trey Wright will get 5th. Christopher Alphaby in 6th. Ashland Boyd, Seth Cole, Landon Smith Jr., and then Hunter Braxton in the 88. So both Ben Young and Fisher G failing to receive points here today as they lost their positions here at the end of that race. Chase Buck holds them off. Hightower led the first half. Chase Buck led the second half, and he had to hold off that 55 and that 18 to hold on to this race win. But I tell you, Chase Buck's going to gain 4 points on Gary Corelli, but Gary Corelli now has a race win worth of points on the field heading into the next race at Rockingham. That 18 has been excellent this season. And not only that, Gary Corelli will start on the pole for the Rockingham Sprint. Brendan Wilmington will get 2nd, even though he wrecked out in this race. And you have Landon Smith Jr., Justin Zidell, Ben Young, Brad Stover, Jesse Turner, Christopher Alfby, Tyree Cartman, Eric Monaco. And then take a look at the rest there. That's how they will line up for the Rockingham Sprint from the Rockingham Speedway, North Carolina. Take a look at it right there as well in the back half of the field. Should be an interesting race there on that mile-long racetrack. A little different than what we saw here today, but what a race it was here for Road America, as you see the starting lineup for the Rockingham Sprint right there. But more importantly, Chase Buck gets the race victory, and he barely had it there on Joey Hightower to get this one. Gary Corelli there in third, Chris Reynolds, Trey Wright, Christopher Alfby, Ashland Boyd, Seth Cole, Landon Smith Jr., and Hunter Braxton, all receiving championship points here today. And you saw there near the end, or while they happened, as the race went on, the issues between Zidell, Wilmington, and Thomas Troxel. Tough break for all of those guys and their issues here this weekend, and especially Brandon Wilmington, who went off in the carousel twice this weekend. Definitely a tough break for him. But that's just the way Road America is sometimes. Bit of a goofy racetrack, and Chase Buck was able to surpass that goofiness and sweep the weekend, winning the sprint race and then winning the feature event as well. Didn't have maximum points. He didn't win the pole for this race, so 15 points for Chase Buck on this weekend, and that's going to be huge towards the championship heading on. We still have 21 events left to go, though, so it's going to be a while before we get to that championship. But Chase Buck going to have a bit of an advantage heading into Rockingham, at least in terms of trying to catch up to Gary Corelli. But Gary Corelli has the advantage on the whole field. Definitely the class of the field so far this season. A lot of strong finishes, and we'll have to see if something happens and that string of good finishes breaks at some point. We got Rockingham coming up next, and then I think Dover after that. So a lot of interesting races to come here in the Wawa Pro Series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Chase Buck for grabbing the race victory here at Road America. You see the points for the Wawa Pro Series after the first four feature events of the season. Chase Buck gets it done here at Road America. Thank you guys for watching once again. Here are the points for the Wawa Pro Series, and trying to do better the next time. That's all I have. Have a good day. And I will see you guys later.